Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Fifakill, as you know, and today what I have for you is a beast of a gameplay. Now, we've pretty much been doing Nuke School, for the past week, maybe week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that, and I thought it was time for just a little break and back to a little bit of good old gameplay. So what today I have for you is kind of a challenge video, and basically, I get 100 plus on 14 sensitivity. Now, some of you guys who play 14 sensitivity might think, oh well, this isn't that great. However, I usually play on about a 6, so this is like crazy for me to more than double my sensitivity and then be able to get 100 plus. Now, this kind of coincides with my whole how to aim video, which I'll be releasing part 2 very, very soon. I've just been caught up because it's like I said, it's a really hard video to make. There's a lot of editing and stuff to do with that, and it's just difficult to do, but I will get that out at some point. But I don't know, and the sensitivity video I made, also it coincides with that. Now, basically, this is what you should not do, pretty much. You shouldn't play on the sensitivity that doesn't work for you. You should do that challenge to get your sensitivity, find out what your ideal one is, and stick with that. But, I was trying to practice versatility and that kind of stuff from my other how to aim video, and pretty much playing on a high sensitivity, I guess it can help sometimes because, if you can get used to a really fast one, then slow one's going to feel even slower, but you should be able to be accurate. But still, you're better off just picking what's best for you, and it was more just of a fun challenge that I was given by a viewer on a stream. And yeah, it was pretty fun to go for. It's a little bit difficult playing on a sensitivity that's so foreign to you. Like I did this back in AW, I used to play on like a 5 sensitivity, I think, something like that, and then I switched it up all the way to a 20 and dropped a DNA on it, which is pretty fun to do. Sometimes just play around. Like I said, this game is getting very, very far into its lifespan, so it gets to the point where you've pretty much done anything, and at this point it's mainly just challenges, waiting for DLCs and stuff like that. Now, some YouTubers, they just stop uploading, or they don't upload as much and just wait for DLCs and new weapons and stuff, but I'm not about that. I said I'd upload every day, and also for the people that do want to come back every day and watch, I want to be able to upload every day, so I'm not really worried about how many views I get. I'm more just chilling, uploading every day till the new card, and then we'll be back on the new fun grind and stuff like that. But yeah, it's mainly challenges that are fun to do now. This is one that I thought would be pretty fun. I might try and get one on a 1 sensitivity, depends. Not really sure. I'll try it out maybe at some point. But yeah, this was definitely a lot of fun to go for. It was super, super difficult. And yeah, I was playing with a couple of my buddies. We were in the game and we ended up getting it. Now, this was back just before the patch, I believe. I was using the HVK. The HVK obviously is nowhere near as good now, in my opinion. I don't think it's that good, which brings me on to my next topic, which is something I want to talk about as well. All the buffs and patches. I want to release some class setups. I've done quite a lot of them recently, but then they did all the buffs and patches, all the new guns. All the guns are completely different, and now I find the Pharaoh, the Weevil, the Vespa, and the KM44 are now the best guns in the game. I'm not really liking the M8 anymore. I'm not liking the VMP or the Kuda. They just changed up a lot of stuff, but I think the Pharaoh and the KN are definitely my 2 best weapons, but the Weevil and the Vespa are also absolutely beastly, and I'll be dropping some gameplays with them over the next couple of days. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I think it's always good if I give you guys tips and advice on guns when they do get, buffed and nerfed, because you guys don't necessarily know straight away. I don't usually keep up to date with this kind of stuff, but it's getting more and more important to me because, I want to know what's good straight away so I can go in and get the gameplays with it. But yeah, so I like to keep you guys updated. For the people that don't always get to pay attention to that kind of stuff, I know I didn't, and this is a game I play a lot, so I'm sure there's tons of you guys who aren't. So, I'll bring you guys some gameplays with the weapons that are a little bit better now, so that if you are finding, your favorite weapon just turned into your least favorite weapon, you used to use a Man of War a ton and now it's kind of bad, that would make more sense to you when I make a video and I can tell you what to use instead. So that will be coming up over the next couple of days. Be looking forward to that. And also, yeah, I'll be continuing Nuke School, like I said. That will be ending at some point soon because I have given like a ton of tips and made a ton of videos on that. Might do some other, future tip videos like that, like a series of tips, maybe like how to get 100 plus school kind of thing, but not too close because we just finished, or well, we're gonna just finish Nuke School at some point. But yeah, it's been definitely fun doing that. Loads of people, like I said, have been, dropping me tweets saying, oh, I got a nuke because of you, and it's just a nice feeling to know that you're helping people out, obviously, and it's pretty cool to think that I can be that influence on them, all just by giving them tips and, telling people how I play, which is pretty fun to do. But yeah, it's definitely a good time. Now, this gameplay, I know that's a completely separate topic, so I'm sorry about that. But going for a gameplay like this, it's really just what you do when you've gotten bored to a point. And, you know, sensitivity is something that just takes practice. Now, even with the challenge before, you're going to be best on your best sensitivity. However, you know, anything's going to take a minute to get used to. Now, if you've been using an 8 the whole time, but turns out that's too fast and you prefer a 6, when you start using that 6, it's still gonna, you know, you're still gonna take a minute to get used to it. Like, for example, if you play with a scuff. Now, when you play with a normal controller for pretty much all of your time and then you change to a scuff, yeah, it's gonna make you a bit better in the long run. However, it is also gonna have a detrimental effect on you for a while. You know, it's difficult to get used to at first. Mine took me about a week when I first got a scuff. I don't play with one now. I find that in this game, bumper jumper is just as easy, if not maybe a little bit better even. But yeah, it's like that. Anything like that, everything takes a bit of getting used to, even if it is better in the end. And that's pretty much just what happened with 14 sensitivity. Now, I'm pretty versatile. You know, I've over the Call of Duty, I've played over, you know, all of the sensitivities, made sure I know what everything feels like, what feels best to me, and I can do pretty good on pretty much any. So this challenge wasn't too hard for me, as I've been challenged to do stuff like this before on stream, just play with the 14 sensitivity and see what I can do. So it wasn't too hard, but you can definitely see at points where my aim goes complete trash, and there's just nothing I can do about it. Now, that's going to happen. That's going to happen with whatever sensitivity, but the highest sensitivity in the game is definitely the worst, because, you know, you're so used to being a little bit slower, and then you spin past people. But you'll see at the beginning of the game, I miss a lot more shots than the end of the game, because at the end of the game, I've warmed up a bit, and that's just, you know, I've gotten better. And it's kind of like the reason I warm up before I play every day on the game itself, because, you know, you're never going to be that great when you first get on, and, you know, you're going to be worse when you first get on the game, and then you're going to be better after you've been playing for a while. But at the beginning of the game, you're going to be playing worse than at the end of the game, because obviously, you know, you've just had the intermission, and even that minute-long break can make you a little bit rusty. So just, you're warming up throughout the game, and that's pretty much what you guys see happening here. I warm up before, and then my aim's a little bit good. You know, we take a little bit of a break. I'm switching it up because I got that 14 sensitivity going, which I did not expect to have. And then, you know, at the game, at the start, I'm missing all my shots, and at the end, I'm starting to get turn-ons. I'm starting to do all kinds of crazy stuff, and that just proves how good warming up and practicing is with things like that. Also, I've been doing something cool on my stream recently for like a little bit of a day. I just started it today actually, but people were definitely liking it. For a little bit every day, I've been 1v1ing some of the people that sub to me on Twitch. Now, I was wondering if you guys would like to see me maybe upload some of them. If you guys would, let me know. I guess that'd be kind of cool, just 1v1ing random viewers every now and then. It's a pretty good time. Everybody was definitely enjoying it on stream today. People have been tweeting me on Twitter, asking me for 1v1s and stuff. It reminds me of back in MW3, after pretty much every game when I came top of a team, everybody would be like, yo, 1v1 me, bro. And I don't know, it's kind of fun, and it's just a little bit of a challenge. So if you guys would like to see maybe stuff like that, do let me know. Or maybe like pick 1v1 and people on like class setups that I've chosen, or class setups I've done on YouTube, or people's class setups they give to me, random class generators, anything like that. I'm definitely down to do, because it's a lot of fun doing it. And I don't know, as 1v1s can be pretty fun sometimes, especially when you're doing it with like an audience, and it can definitely, I could give you guys a lot of tips with that as well, because, you know, winning a 1v1, it doesn't prove anything in one way, but it also does in another, because it just proves which player is better in certain, you know, one-on-one gun battle situations. But in the end of the day, you know, that one-on-one gun battle situation isn't going to make that much difference in the long run of an actual game. You're better off being able to, you know, kill 3 people at once, or be able to play under pressure with a whole 6-man team against you. But obviously, you know, winning one-on-one gun battles is the stepping stones to a big gameplay. For example, I'm not going to get that 315 kill game I got the other day if I can't win one-on-one gun battle. So being able to do one-on-one is definitely a good thing. And also, when I'm in 1v1s, I do a lot more wall running and tricks like that. I also think a lot more carefully about how I'm going to play, because that person knows where you are, so there's really nothing you can do. You can't flank or anything. You've just got to outplay the person. So I can definitely give you guys tips on how to do that. And then I even learn from myself sometimes, watching myself 1v1, using my brain to outplay people like that. I can then apply it to a 6-man team situation and, you know, use that same tactic but against a 6-man team. So I'm trying even harder when I need to try less, and that in the end is going to make me slip up less and do even better. So any times that I would have died in the game, maybe I would have died a few times less, had a few more kill streaks, got a few more kills, and just everything in general. That will also get you more nukes. Now, I said this wasn't going to be a proper nuke tip video, which it is not. However, you could turn this around and say that that is a very good tip for getting nukes, which it is, but we'll see in the future. If you guys would like to see something like that, I could give you guys tips, or you could just watch the 1v1. If I were to do something like that, I hope that I could record the other person I'm playing with. I feel like that would make it a lot more entertaining for you. Maybe show multiple viewpoints if you guys would be into that. I was thinking about doing something like that before when I 1v1 Tasty. I think he was in Carnage at the time. He's in Doom now, but me and him 1v1'd, and then I ended up winning that. But unfortunately, we never got around to uploading it. I didn't record the full game. It didn't pick up his voice. There was a lot of problems, but I could definitely get that sorted out because I know a couple buddies who have done a series like this before, or have done series where they play with people and obviously you pick up their voice. So it'd pretty much just be as simple as recording a Skype call or something like that. So yeah, also I did get around to playing the new zombies map finally. I don't know if you guys, I told you guys before, but basically the new zombie map, Garrod something, I don't know the full name. I did eventually get around to playing it, and first game in that, you know, I'd never played the map before. I did end up completing the Easter eggs. I was playing with my buddy Ghost Ninja and 2 others, and we ended up getting that first game. So that was pretty cool. Now I'm going back to the other zombies maps that I haven't done the Easter eggs on and finishing them, because apparently the 4th DLC zombie map, to do the Easter egg, it is required that you have done the other 3 as well. So I'm slowly going through doing them, seeing what I can get done, and I'm actually having a lot of fun. You know, COD's definitely getting a lot better for me. It feels like the game's new again. All the new buffs and stuff came out, which is probably the most refreshing thing, in addition to the fact that all the new weapons just came out. The new DLC is relatively new as well. Fractured just got added to the game. There's going to be double XP and stuff going on. The zombies is really fun, doing all the Easter eggs and just playing the new map. Just everything's really good for me right now. I'm definitely having a lot of fun. There's also a lot of challenges emerging right now as well. So everything's going really good. It's going to be, you know, fun to upload stuff all the time. Hope you guys are enjoying the daily uploads. I'm not sure when that's going to end exactly. I think I said it was going to end around the time when Infinite Warfare comes out, which I'm also very much looking forward to. I still haven't watched the trailer. I should probably do that so I can give you guys my opinion on it, but I'm really just waiting for when the actual beta comes out to play it, because I don't want to get myself too caught up on what I think the game's going to be like, because it usually turns out to be different anyway. You know, I thought I was going to love Black Ops 2, turns out I didn't like it, so the trailers really don't do very much for me, neither does the campaign. It's more just hands-on experience playing against, you know, actual people. So I'm just waiting to get my hands on the beta, play that, stream it, have a lot of fun, go for gameplays, and be pumping out content for you guys, because that's what it's all about. And then when the game comes out, I think I'm doing I'm like 100% sure I'm doing the race again this year. So if I could win that 2 years in a row after never doing it before, that would be absolutely, you know, insane. That'd be dope. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing the race as well. That it was really fun and hype before. Hopefully they do add something like the level 1000 like they did this time, because that, you know, it meant that there was another race and it was just a little bit extra fun to go for. Also, I am about level 700 on Black Ops 3 right now. I just hit level 666 today at the start of the stream, because I thought that'd be kind of funny to do, I guess, like a little cool thing, and then carried on playing for a while because Fracture was double XP and I was getting about 80k XP a game. It was crazy stuff, and I keep winning games 75-0. So if you guys would like to see a 75-0 Fracture win, do let me know. But yeah, I've been leveling up a ton, so if you guys maybe want an XP video, there's been a ton of them already, but just to let you guys know, I'll probably make a stats video when I do hit level 1000. My stats aren't the best because of Dark Matter and stuff, and going for that and going for hero gear and messing around and stuff, but I'll make a stats video when I hit level 1000. I might still start that level 100 account, or whatever account it is that I was talking about now that's got like a 20 KD, and just see what kind of stats I can get my Master Prestige, if you guys would be interested in that. There's just a ton of ideas I've got going on, but yeah, I think I've leveled up over 100 times in the past few days, which is just crazy. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy the video and the commentary. If you did, drop a like. If you're new, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.